The way we have so many political parties in South Africa, I'm sure people from neighboring countries are starting to look at us like these people are weird. What is wrong with South Africans, man? What is the fascination with political parties in South Africa? Everyone is opening up a political party in South Africa, man. And I'm not gonna lie, man, at first I was one of those people who was against the political parties in South Africa, man. I didn't understand the need for us to have all of these many political parties in South Africa, especially going into 2024. I was one of those people who thought that, okay, we already have enough of political parties. We already have enough confusion in South Africa. We don't need another confusion from other political parties as we go into 2024. So I had to look at the political parties that we currently have and ask myself, is this the best that we can offer? Is this honestly the best that we can offer to South Africa? You look at the leaders of the political parties that we already have in South Africa. You look at what these people are doing in parliament, man. You look at the fact that the country has literally never moved forward with all of these political parties existing. Is this the best that we can offer? And the answer is no. It's a plain no. The already existing political parties that we have, they are not the best that we can offer. This is the reason why we need to listen to new political parties. And this is what I did. I started listening to Bosa, I started listening to Rise SA, Rise Mzansi, listening to Shiluva, and listening to Change Starts Now. I had to start listening to these people and hear what is it exactly that these people want from South Africa. I'm not going to lie. Most of the new political parties that we have in South Africa are progressive political parties. They actually want change in South Africa. They are actually sincere about wanting change in South Africa. You see someone like Musi Maimane or someone like Sonke Sosibi, those people are not the types of Ace Magashule. You see Ace Magashule's party, man. Ace Magashule's party is the EFF, ANC type of political parties. You see those political parties where people are constantly reminded of apartheid, when people are constantly reminded that they are the victims of the system, where the leaders of the parties are stealing while blaming apartheid. Ace Magashule has that kind of political party. And the fact that Ace Magashule's political party, he has the same color and the name is similar to the African National Congress. This is one of the reasons why I was against new political parties, because I see these people as con artists, man. Because what Ace Magashule is doing, it is actually cornery, if there's such a word. Because I can just imagine, man, how many people are going to vote for Ace Magashule thinking they are voting for the African National Congress. Many people are going to vote for Ace Magashule. They are going to mistake his political party for the African National Congress. The same with the other political party. I think its name, it's EFT. The logo, the theme and the colors, man, are the same as the EFF. So I'm sure many people are going to vote for that party thinking they are voting for the EFF. This is one of the reasons why I was against new political parties coming into the space. But when you start listening to people who are totally different from Ace Magashule, you start listening to Bongani Baloyi, you start listening to Mpho Dagata, and you hear what these people are saying. You start listening to Roger Jardine, and you hear what these people are saying. You can feel that these people are actually progressive and they want what is best for South Africa. And what is nice is that in South Africa we already have progressive parties. These people, is not going to be hard for them to work with the progressive parties that we already have in South Africa. You can see the likes of Action SA, you can see the likes of Democratic Alliance. These are people who are progressive in the country, and these people, it's not going to be hard for these people to work together. So all of these people, they came separately. And this is one issue that was weird with me, that why are you guys not under one banner, man? One leader, one deputy under one banner. That way, if you guys move as one, I'm sure that way you would make an impact other than when you guys are separated. The Moon Pact has already failed to do that. I'm saying that because recently Action SA, they had a rally. And to be fair, that rally had a low attendance. Many people didn't go to the Action SA rally. Despite Herman Mashaba's speech being wonderful, many people didn't go to the rally. And I thought, man, Moon Pact failed Action SA. Moon Pact failed Herman Mashaba. Why am I saying that? I thought that in Moon Pact, these people were going to move as one. You know, when the Democratic Alliance do a rally, Herman Mashaba must tell the supporters of Action SA to go to the stadium. Hlabisa must tell the supporters of IFP to go to the stadium. Neil de Beer must tell the supporters of UIM to go to, like, you get what I'm trying to say. that these people need to move as one. Even the Action SA rally, man, it could have been big if all of these political parties in the Moon Pact told the people that, guys, Herman Mashaba is doing a rally and this guy is our ally going into 2024. We need to go to that rally and support Herman Mashaba. They failed to do that. They failed. And there's still time for them to do that, but so far they failed to do that because there is no need for them to be under Moon Pact if they are going to do things separately. If they're going to be under Moon Pact, they must move as one. That way they can really make an impact in South Africa. And that way they can actually show South Africans that, guys, we don't have to hate each other because we belong to different political parties. This is what is happening in South Africa. Many people don't want to hear what the next person is saying simply because that person belongs to other political party. The Moon Pact actually had a chance, or they still have a chance of actually showing people that, guys, even if we belong to different political parties, but we can still find a common ground for what is best for South Africa. This is the same thing that I'm hoping that these people are doing. I'm hoping this is what Roger Jardine, Musime Mane, Songeso Zibi, and all of these guys, this is what I'm hoping these people are going to do eventually, that they're going to come under one umbrella and they're going to have leadership, they're going to have the leadership, and they're going to move as one. And just imagine, man, all of these guys with their resources, with their knowledge, just imagine all of them under one umbrella, moving as one, going into 2024, they are going to make a huge impact. But if they want to move separately, man, I'm telling you, they're not going to make a huge impact. And as far as I'm concerned, the African National Congress is going to take advantage of that because they know many political parties in South Africa, man, they simply want power. So they can pick one or two political parties after 2023 and go into coalition with them. So the African National Congress, they're going to take advantage if these small political parties are not moving as one. So this is my appeal to all of these guys, that, guys, please move as one. And this is my appeal again to Moon Pact, that, guys, you can do more. You can do more. It's like 7 political parties in that thing. If the Democratic Alliance does a rally next time, the leaders of other political parties in the Moon Pact, they must tell their people that, guys, you must go to that rally of the Democratic Alliance to show our unity. And when UIM and Neil de Beer does a rally, all the leaders of political parties must tell the people that, guys, Neil de Beer is doing a rally. All of us must go to show unity. That way they can actually show South Africans that, guys, we don't have to hate each other, or we don't have to ignore each other simply because we belong to different political parties.
To launch our movement, which is called Change Starts Now. It's a platform for change. South Africans are very focused on change. And we're going to be sharing with the public our plan to engage broadly. We also think that politically, I mean, you asked me earlier, why am I doing this? Through the various things I've done over the years, I have played a role of some sorts, whether it's in the economy, through the bank or elsewhere, infrastructure. But I've come to the conclusion that South Africa has a political problem. We can put the best CEO in at any SOE while we have the political structure that we have and decision making, which is not very clear. It appears to be schizophrenic. One day the private sector's love, the next day they're the root of all evil, the next day they're being asked to set up task teams to help solve social ills.
This is the same thing that African National Congress, and especially those idiots there at African National Congress Youth League are doing, man. Those people, you don't know whether they like the private sector or whether they hate the private sector. They are all over the place.
There's no unifying idea about governance in this country from our government. In 1994, and 2024 is not 1994, it's 30 years later, the world has moved on. But in 1994, one of the great things which is intangible was to see the dignity of people being restored through the simple act of being allowed to choose your government. The last 30 years, especially the last 10 or so, we have seen a complete reversal where our people now are reduced to very undignified experiences when they interact with public institutions.
And what I don't understand, people who are actually being abused, because this is what I can say, what the African National Congress is doing to the poor people, man, it is abuse. People who are being abused, especially the poor black people that are being abused, are the ones who are actually protecting the African National Congress. It is really weird to me. People who actually don't like the African National Congress, people who hate the ANC, are the people who want change. But guess what? It is not many of us, many of the people in South Africa, many poor people in South Africa, they still favor the African National Congress. So sometimes I'm like, man, are we honestly wasting our time here? If we have a majority of people in the country still favoring the African National Congress, if we still have people who don't want to stand up and actually fight for the country, are we here? Are we wasting our time? Because most of the people that you will hear speak against the African National Congress or speak against the EFF, these are the people that are not the members of those parties. The members of those parties are okay with what is happening. The members of African National Congress, it's a majority of them. It's a majority of them. They are okay with what the African National Congress is doing. Even with the same people that are sitting at home doing nothing. These people who say that I don't want to vote, I'm simply going to sit here and I'm not going to vote for any political parties. Even those people, man. Because by not voting out the African National Congress, somehow, you are still keeping the African National Congress in power. So why are poor black people actually sitting down and doing nothing while the country is going down? They are the ones who are actually hating the most with what is happening right now in the country, but they are the ones who actually don't give a damn. Do people really care? Are we wasting our times on these platforms? Are we wasting our times starting these new political parties? Because I can feel the frustrations from all of these people who have started new political parties. There's a huge frustrations that they are facing, that we can go to neighborhoods, man. People still want to talk about African National Congress. People will tell you that, yeah, you see, when Musimaiman comes to our neighborhoods, we will go to his speech, we will listen to his speech. If he gives us t-shirts, we will take his t-shirts, and when it's election time, we are going to vote for the African National Congress. This is the rhetoric that has been spewed by black people, men, for such a long time. And I just remember it now that these people have been doing this for such a long time. And different political parties have been coming to our neighborhoods, different organizations. They do come and they do tell the people that, man, this is not the way to live. And people will tell you that, man, we are going to go. You see, the EFF is doing a rally there. We're going to go to there and we're going to wear the EFF t-shirts. But when it comes times to vote, we're going to vote for the African National Congress. So are these people wasting their time? Are people like Jardine actually wasting his time and wasting his money trying to save South Africa? Because majority of South Africans who are poor black people are okay with everything that is happening in the country. Are we wasting our time, guys? Are we wasting our time? Man, I was one of those people, man, who hated the idea of Cape Independence, man. I hated the idea of Cape Independence. But right now, as we speak, man, I would do anything in my power to get out of the African National Congress mess. I hated the idea of Cape Independence. I was one of those people who said, man, we cannot afford to have Cape Independence in South Africa. But I can feel where Cape Independence is coming from. Majority of black people in the country, man, they are not going to listen to Roger Jardine. Majority of black people in this country who are poor black people are not going to listen to Musimaiman. They're not going to listen to Bongani Baloyi. They're not going to listen to Songezo Zibi. When he tells them that, guys, this is not the way we should live. We deserve better as a country. We have one of the most diverse countries in the world. We have the most beautiful country in the world. We deserve better as the people of this country. Those poor people are not going to listen to these guys. Those poor people, they love identity politics. They love racial politics. You know, when you come to our neighborhoods and you start talking policy, people are not going to pay attention to you when you talk policy. This is why politicians like Julius Malema, man, they know how to play the game. You go to the people, you play identity politics, you play racial politics. This is the only way you can actually get people to pay attention to you. And people like Roger Jardine are not those kind of people. Roger Jardine, I don't imagine him being on a stage insulting another political party or insulting another politician. Man, you can see the man is only worried about the future of South Africa, just like us. We are only worried about the future of South Africa. But we really have to talk about the majority of black people who are poor people in this country being okay with the status quo. If these poor black people do not say enough is enough, then there's nothing that no one is going to say that's going to make any difference. And this is the most scary part about it. This is what is scary about all of these things. Many people, man, in South Africa, no, not many. I've realized that the people who actually want change in South Africa, it is not many of us. Majority of poor black people in this country, man, they are okay with the status quo. That's why they vote with their feet. They don't go to the polls. That's how they vote. They are okay with the status quo. You know, silence means consent. If you're not going to stand up and actually do something about it, it means that you are okay with what is happening. Majority of poor black people in this country, they are okay with what is happening in the country. They simply want to hear politicians insult each other. They enjoy watching parliament because to them parliament is entertainment. They don't look at parliament like how some of us look at parliament. And when these people and when these idiots make a mockery of parliament, we actually get frustrated. I get frustrated when I watch parliament and you see nothing but chaos, and I'm like, man, this is one place where political parties are supposed to come together and meet up and actually propose the ways to actually move this country forward. But these people, they get to parliament and they start throwing chairs, and they start throwing insults. The speaker of the house is all over the place. They're calling each other with names. This is what South Africans enjoy. This is what the poor people in this country, who happen to be black people, poor black people in this country, they enjoy watching parliament when these politicians are throwing chairs, are hailing insults at each other. They don't want to hear policy. They don't want to hear how are we going to move the country forward. So the question comes, are we wasting our time? Are we wasting our time? As a South African, can you blame yourself for people wanting to have a Cape independence so that they can run themselves, because they're sick and tired of this African National Congress nonsense? Man, I wouldn't mind living in a place like Cape Independence. I wouldn't mind. You see where I am right now. I'm in the Free State, man. I will do it, man. I'm telling you, if anyone tells me that, Thomas, come tomorrow, I would move in a heartbeat. I would move in a heartbeat. That's how much I hate staying here. That's how much I hate being governed by these idiots. I don't blame people for wanting Cape independence, man. There's no hope for South Africa. And I think people who proposed the whole Cape independence actually realized that the majority of black people in this country, they are okay with the status quo. So as long as black people are okay with the status quo, man, you can say whatever that you want to say. People like Roger Jardine, man, are going to depend on black people to vote for him. He's going to need black people to vote for his political party. Are black people going to vote for someone like Roger Jardine? Are black people going to vote for someone like Musliman? Do black people actually want their country to be governed by a progressive political party? No, they don't want that. They want the ANC, EFF, Ace Mahashule political party type. Those are the kind of political parties they like. Those political parties, they play identity politics, they play racial politics every day. They always gaslight them with fake outrage. This is what they want. They want to be told that you guys are still the victims of apartheid. This is why they love the slogan of 1994. In 2024 is our 1994. They love the thought of living in apartheid. They love like this. This is what they love. Are we wasting our time? Many people in this country, man, majority of people in this country, they are okay with the status quo. Majority of the voters are voting for the African National Congress. Majority of the people in the country, they decided to stay at home. So they are okay with what the African National Congress is doing. So are we wasting our time?
No grandmother should sit in the sun waiting for her pension payout. You should not be dying of cholera in 2023. You should not go to a hospital where the staff are overworked and under-resourced and you don't know if your granny or your relative is going to die in the corridor. And so a big part of what we're trying to do here is, yes, we want to change this trajectory where the state is failing, but we also, it's part of a passion for restoring the dignity of the people of this country.
Mr. Jardine, you want to restore the dignity of the people of this country. Do the people of this country want their dignity restored? I understand you want to restore the dignity of the people. Do the people of this country want their dignity restored? If many of them are okay with what is happening, and you are telling them that, guys, what you get right now, you don't deserve that, you deserve better. And these people are saying, no, we are okay with what we're getting. And you are telling them that, man, what you are getting, man, you deserve better than what you are getting. And they are telling you that, no, we are telling you, we are okay with what we are getting. Many political parties, man, they want to change South Africa. They want South Africa to become a first world country. They want South Africa to have the best education. They want us to have the best infrastructure, best health care. Do the people of this country want the same things? A majority of the people in this country want the same thing. Majority of black people in this country, do they want the same thing? Or do they want to play identity politics? Do they want the same thing for South Africa? Do they want... Man, these people, they don't want us to see, they don't want to see South Africans competing with people all over the world, man. They don't want to see South African national team playing in the World Cup just like how the Springboks is doing. They don't want that, man. The people of this country, they don't want what is best for this country. And at some point, we really have to say that, man, this is the situation that we are in right now. The people of South Africa, they don't want what is best for South Africa. Many political parties, many people have said whatever they want to say. Even today, even people like me, man, they still insult me today. I'm fine. I'm being insulted each and every day by people who are being abused by the same African National Congress. Are being insulted by the same people, and I'm okay with it. This is what, and I've realized that, okay, maybe, just maybe the people of this country, they don't want what is best for this country. Maybe majority of people, of black people in this country, they are okay with what is happening. Us coming on these platforms, people like Mr. Roger Jardine, starting political parties and starting organizations, we are simply wasting our time. It is not many of us. I think at some point we need to understand that it is not many of us who want what is best for South Africa. Majority of people of this country, majority of black people in this country who happen to be poor, they are okay with the status quo.
We want to have a frank and honest conversation because this is a public interest.
We have a very, very stark contrast of rich and poor in South Africa. And that's why I think if we don't plan a platform that is based on social solidarity, where we all reach out to each other to find solutions, and that means the business community, civil society, the religious community, all of us, we're in this together. This is our home. And this is what really inspires me to raise my hand, to want to be part of the solution here. I am from Riverlea and Eldorado Park. I don't read about the lived realities of people in this country. It's not theory to me, you know. Many of my relatives use public hospitals. And the same goes for many communities. So I think the only measure of this platform, notwithstanding some of the framing of why I'm doing this, is going to be the agenda. And I think the agenda of this platform will show that this is not an agenda exclusively for the business community.
Including
any notion that you parachute a leader in or somebody is offered a position, that doesn't work in practice, and it won't work for me personally. I think leadership is something that you earn, and it's something that you work for. And I will work very hard to find a common platform with all of these players for the sake of the country, not for the sake of any particular party. But the thing that has shifted is that we're very open to working with everyone. And so what we are saying is change is urgent. We can't have another 5 years of this dysfunction. Which means as we build out our platform and we look to participate.
And man, South Africans don't realize that, man, if the African National Congress wins in 2024, man, this country is practically done. If the ANC wins in 2024, man, South Africa is done. It's done. Can you imagine another 5 years under Ramaphosa? Can you just imagine? Another 5 years under Cyril Ramaphosa. It is going to be a nightmare. It's going to be a nightmare. So I understand the frustrations of Mr. Roger Jardine, man, but I'm skeptical about the people of this country, man. I'm like, sometimes I feel like giving up on the people of this country. I feel like giving up on black people, man, in this country. Black people in this country, man, have proven it to me that, man, they are like, I don't like, man, I cannot even understand them. I don't understand them. They are easily lied to. They don't believe in research, man. They are easily lied to by politicians. They are easily manipulated into an outrage by politicians, man. Easy.
In the elections in 2024, it is time to step out of our conventional ways of thinking. It is time for South Africans who may disagree on a range of issues to actually forge a common platform for how we want to take South Africa forward and to work together. So we're going to be talking to other political parties, other formations of civil society, and broader society, because we can't carry on in this way. If we just carry on with our traditional voting patterns, ideological behaviors, if we stay stuck in this rut, it's not going to be good for getting us out of this. Let's unite around the things that we can agree on, and I think there are many. And so we're very open to talking to everyone.
And they must do that very quickly, man. This is the same thing that I said when I started the video, that, man, all of these people, man, all of these progressive leaders in South Africa, they need to come together, man. Come to the table, all of them. Form one thing, man. Go under one banner, guys. All of you guys. I'm sure you guys are progressive. This is why you guys are progressive. You know what is best for the country. You know that it is not about your egos. It is not about you wanting to prove a point to another person, just like the ANC and the EFF trying to prove a point to each other. You people, you simply want what is best for South Africa. You know that is what sets you different, sets you apart from other political parties. Other political parties are simply interested in, I'm better than you, more people have voted for me, more people like me. They don't care about the needs of people of this country. But people like you, if all of you guys can come together, you guys and the Money Pact and other political parties come together, guys, form one formation, go into 2024 and take the fight from the African National Congress. Come to the neighborhoods, man. Come to the neighborhoods and take the fight from the African National Congress on the grassroots, man. People are not happy with African National Congress. There's a picture I saw, I think, last week, of some door-to-door ANC idiot going around promising people jobs. They beat him. They beat him somewhere in South Africa. People are not happy with African National Congress. They are not going to tell the African National Congress we are not happy, but they are not happy with African National Congress. They are not. They are not. For some reason, they continue voting for the African National Congress, but I know they are not happy with African National Congress, man. It's almost as if the African National Congress got these people on the shackles. There is something that is happening with black people and their relationship with African National Congress. You know that toxic relationship when someone can leave no matter how happy they are, no matter how unhappy they are. This is the relationship of South Africans with African National Congress. You people, you actually have a chance to take fight from the African National Congress. You have a chance to take fight from the African National Congress. You guys are progressive. South Africans, man, it wouldn't be hard for South Africans to listen to all of you guys. If you're going to sit around and go separately as political parties and still preaching that we want to work with other political parties, we're going to work with political parties. Parties like the EFF are not doing that. EFF is playing identity politics. Going into 2024, man, you know they said that in 2024, when they open in February, they're going after Pravin Gordhan. Man, it has already started. They're going after Pravin Gordhan. This is the type of politics that EFF plays. And unfortunately, this is the type of politics that actually catches people's attention. So you guys actually have a chance of coming and showing South Africans that, guys, man, it's enough. It's enough. I don't know how are you going to convince the average black people in this country to vote different or to look at things different in this country. No, they do see things different, but they don't want to act different. That is the thing. They do see that, okay, maybe we need to change this and this. Maybe we need to get rid of the African nation. But they don't want to act on it. They don't want to act on it. So it's going to be very hard for you guys. I'm not going to lie to any political party, to anyone wanting to open a political party, man. The hardest thing that you're going to encounter, man, is convincing black people that African National Congress, it is wrong for them. Is convincing black people that a political party that plays identity politics and racial politics, it is not good for you. That is the biggest challenge that you're going to face.
To be part of that solution. I'm finding in my engagements with people, there are very few people who have said to me, don't do it, have you lost your mind? I think everyone is wrestling with where the ANC finds itself and a way forward. You feel that internal struggle. The only difference here is that I've now decided it's time to leave the corporate sector and to do something about it. And I've asked many people, what's the alternative? How do we get out of this? Here's what I'm thinking of doing. Please give me another way.
These are people in the movement.
People in the ANC, veterans, ANC, just across the board. Not one person has been able to tell me of a different way to do this. And I think that's really a reflection of the fact that there's a shared sense that this ANC, which is not the ANC of our parents and our grandparents, which is not our ANC, has failed the people.
It has, man. It has. It has. But I have a huge problem with black people right now. I have a huge problem with black people. I have a huge problem with black people in the country, man, who don't want to see any change. They don't want to see any change. They don't want to act on any change. They can see that their lives are being destroyed right in front of their eyes. They can see that their children, man, are getting the worst education in the world. They can see that. They can see how hospitals are like in our townships and neighborhoods. They can see. But for some reason, they don't want to act on changing things. So this is why I'm saying, man, if you want to open a new political party, the biggest hurdle that you're going to have is convincing poor black people to let go of the African National Congress. Guys, please tell me what you think on the comment section. Don't forget to hit that like button, and the most important part is subscribe. My name is Thomas Mabaso, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.